What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Just Critic back with another video. Now today I wanted to go over my current tier list of the weapons on MW3. Now I did a video a couple days ago talking about the skill-based matchmaking on this game, and most people agreed with what I had to say in that video, give or take a few people who didn't actually listen to what I was saying in the video. But yeah, for the people that commented on the last video, I appreciate you guys' support. But yeah, I want to go over a tier list today of the weapons on MW3. I feel like I've gotten a good amount of weapons used on this game. While I don't actually have the interstellar camo yet, well, I don't have that. I feel like I have a solid opinion on the weapons that I have used so far. Now keep in mind, this is going to be my opinions. Every gun works different for every single person, so one gun might be bad for me, whereas for somebody else it might be really good. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the worst on the list and then work our way up from there. So at the very bottom of the list, and this is the gun I feel like I had the worst time playing with, and it's still not even fully maxed up, is the Sidewinder. Now the Sidewinder is one of the battle rifles in the game, and the gun just has like a ridiculous amount of recoil for no reason. Like, I literally went to the attachments and put every single attachment on that had to do with recoil, and somehow the gun still had an absurd amount of recoil. So for me personally, that gun definitely is like the worst gun so far that I have used. I would highly recommend you do not use it unless you're camo grinding. It just isn't going to be a fun time unless you're literally camping in a room and not moving at all. Now the Sidewinder is technically the only gun that I have as a D tier weapon on this list completely. So we're gonna go ahead and move up from there to the C tier weapons, starting with the AMR9. Now I touched on this gun in my last video, but I genuinely do not like this gun at all. Like, the TTK on it is okay, but as far as like using other submachine guns, I just feel like every other submachine gun is better than that weapon. Like, if you want to use it by itself, like, okay, it's all right, but if you compare it to the other SMGs in the game, it just becomes, in my opinion, the worst SMG. Like, the ADS time on that weapon is pretty much almost as slow as a sniper rifle without attachments. For me personally, I didn't enjoy using the AMR9 for anything. Like, it was just not a fun time to try and rank up, and I haven't even done the actual camo challenges on that weapon. I've literally only ranked it up so I can do the camo challenges whenever I get to it. But yeah, just literally ranking the weapon up itself was just an unbearable time for me. Like, it really was not fun at all. Coming in next on the C tier, Cat AMR. Now this is a sniper. I've only used it a little bit, but just in comparison to the other two snipers that are in the game, I just personally don't feel like it is a good sniper. Like, it's all right, but there's no like pros to using the weapon. Like, whereas if you have the what is it called, the longbow has some pretty good ADS speed. It's got some pretty good damage. Like, yes, you might get a hit marker sometimes with the weapon, but overall it's a pretty solid sniper for like running around trying to be kind of like a fast sniper. And if you compare that one to the other one, which I can't remember off the top of my name, I think it's the Inhibitor, that sniper is a one-shot. Like, literally you shoot somebody in the chest or just anywhere in the chest level, it's going to be a one-shot kill, which feels really good on a sniper in my opinion. I know in some period with the old CODs, they switched it to where snipers were no longer like one shots. Like, I remember using all the old BL1, BO2 and MW2 guns, like the Intervention, where it was just a one shot no matter what. Like, as long as you hit them anywhere besides the toe, it would be a one shot. But yeah, that's why I put this one as a C tier. It's an okay sniper rifle. I just feel like the other two in the game are a little bit better than that one personally for me. Now with this said, we're gonna go and get into the B tier weapons. Now this is where it really starts to get fun, because I feel like a lot of these weapons are solid for anybody. It doesn't matter your playstyle. I feel like anybody can use these weapons. What is this guy doing over here? Starting at number one, we're gonna go ahead and put the Striker there. Now I know in the beta, or the beta, whatever you want to call it, in the beta, the Striker was probably the best SMG. Now I don't remember how many SMGs it had in total, but the Striker was that SMG if you wanted to use one. Now for me personally, I just felt like the Striker, it was okay. It was consistent at best. I didn't feel like I was having a really fast TTK or like the weapon was shredding people. I just felt like it was a really consistent weapon where, you know, I'm gonna get the kill, but it's not just gonna poop on like 5 people. You know, if there's a group of 3 people, I'm probably not gonna take out all 3. It's probably just gonna be 1 or 2, and then that's about it, you know. So it's not a bad gun at all. I just didn't put it as the higher tier guns because I feel like some of the other ones have some better attachments and perks and stuff that you can put on them. The one next to that is going to be the WSP9, which is the one I'm using right now. Now this gun's actually not too bad. If you put the right attachments on it, it becomes like a 2-shot to the head. So this thing does actually put out a decent amount of damage in my opinion. Like, it's an okay weapon. I wouldn't use it if I was trying to pub stomp people or I was trying to have a really good game, but you get, you know, you know, for what you get, it's a decent gun. And I'm currently working on leveling this one up to the max. I think this is my last submachine gun that I have to get to max level. So I'm just kind of grinding that and trying to get it all the way up to the top. This dude's definitely laying down upstairs, like 100% just laying here. Or a knife, I guess that works too. After the WSP9, I would personally say the FR556, which is like the FAMAS from MW2, is the next weapon in that list. It's not a bad weapon, just when you compare it to the other ones, kind of like the DG58, it just gets outshined 100%. It's an okay gun. You're gonna get like a 1 to 2 burst per each kill, so you know, more than likely every time you shoot somebody, it's gonna be a 2 burst, unless you get a headshot in there. The next weapon I would say is in a B tier is going to be the SVA 545. This gun, it's okay, man. I don't have like too many positives about it. It's an alright assault rifle. Like if you just want one to use that's kind of got that AK feel to it, it's basically what the AK is in every other COD, although it just doesn't personally do it for me in this COD. It has a decent ADS, it has a decent TTK, so you know, you're gonna get like, every fight is gonna feel like somewhat of a fair fight with this gun. It's not gonna feel like you're at a disadvantage while using it, but just for me personally, it wasn't the one for me, you know. But it's still not a bad gun by any means. Like, it's a decent gun. Now the last one I'm going to put as B tier is actually going to be the longbow. Now this one was kind of half and half for me. I kind of wanted to put the longbow as A tier, but I also felt like it is very close to the ones in B tier as well, so it's kind of split down the middle for me. I feel like you could put this one either A or B tier. The only reason I would say it gets kind of more lean towards the B tier for me personally is just because the amount of hit markers you get with it, unless you're hitting dead center in the chest. Your speed when you're using the sniper is really fast. You can put a bunch of attachments on that make you extremely fast with a good ADS speed, but overall I just feel like I'm getting a ton of hit markers with that gun. Maybe it's just my aim is trash, or maybe it's the gun, I'm not entirely sure, but I just feel like I get a bunch of hit markers with it, whereas if I use the inhibitor, I wouldn't really be having that problem. Now with this said, that's all the guns in the B tier. If I'm going to go into the A tier now, we're going to start with the Striker 9. I did put the Striker itself as B tier, but I feel like the Striker 9 is technically a little bit better than the normal Striker. Just whenever I was ranking up the Striker 9, I felt like it was just a little bit more powerful than the Striker itself. Now while they're both consistent weapons, I just seem to have a lot more fun and a lot better gunfights when using the Striker 9 over the Striker. Now don't get me wrong, they're both pretty much the same gun. Like there's not much difference between them, but the versatility that I got when using the Striker 9 just felt a little bit better than using the normal Striker. Now after that gun, I would say personally that the WSP Swarm is the next runner-up. Now that gun, talk about a TTK. I think that gun has literally the fastest TTK in the game. As far as how fast you're going to kill people in this game, that gun is the fastest. The only problem is that its range is just not the best. Now you can throw on attachments that up its range and all that, but it's not going to be like a considerable thing where you're going to be able to shoot across the map and laser people all the time. But it's a really good weapon if you want a fast TTK. I would say it is like a really good really good SND weapon. Like if you want to get to somewhere fast, say you're trying to get to one of the bomb sites and you need to plant really quick, throw on the Swarm, run it down with the dead silence perk and all that, and you're chilling. Next weapon I would put in the A tier is going to be the MTZ 556. In my opinion, that gun is actually pretty decent. It shoots fairly quickly, it doesn't have too much recoil, and it's overall just a solid gun in my opinion. As far as like assault rifles go, I would definitely recommend using that one. And I'm kind of going to say the same things with most of these. Like all the A tier guns are going to be good guns. Like you're not going to go wrong with the weapons by any means. You should be able to handle most of your gunfights with these weapons if you're aiming at the person, your aim's not just all over the place. Next weapon I'm going to put as A tier is going to be the KV inhibitor, which is the sniper. Now this is the one that I personally say is better than the longbow, just for the simple fact that you're not going to get as many hit markers with it. During my time ranking that gun up, I actually was having a lot of fun sniping. Like I just really wasn't getting that many hit markers all around. It was majority of them were one-shot kills, and that to me when sniping is a huge thing. Like knowing that you're not, oh god, I'm cooked here, I'm cooked. Knowing that you're not going to get a hit marker most likely when you're sniping is just such a good feeling compared to feeling like, oh, I might get a hit marker on this shot or something, you know. This is what I was talking about, the range, man. But yeah, that gun to me is a very solid bet as far as a sniper goes. I would highly recommend using that one if you're going to use a sniper in this game. After that gun, I am personally going to put the Bass P as the next A tier gun. The Bass P is, I believe, a battle rifle, and in my opinion, it's the best of the 3 that they have on this game. It's got a really good TTK, decent aim down sight, and like the recoil on it is pretty much butter. All around, that gun, in my opinion, is just, it's beautiful. For a battle rifle on this game, which I don't really understand the term battle rifle 100%, but in my opinion, that one takes the cake out of the three that are in this game. Now with that said, that is all of the A tier guns. We're gonna go ahead and get into the S tier here, and these are the guns that are just pretty much overpowered in the game. Like if you're using these guns, you really shouldn't be losing gunfights. So we're gonna go and start out with the SMG. It's gonna be the Rival 9. Now Rival 9 in this game I think may be the best SMG hands down. Like the range and consistency that you get from the Rival 9 is just beautiful. The gun shoots straight, it does a lot of damage. You don't even need a sight on it because the iron sights are so clean, which is something that I didn't mention on some of the other weapons. Is some of the other weapons in this game, the iron sights just block too much of my view. Like I feel like more often than not I'm using the MK3 reflector, which is this sight right here, to have a good sight. But the Rival 9 doesn't actually need that. That weapon is really good. The iron sights on it are solid. I feel like if you're going to see any SMG in like competitive or anything like that, it's definitely going to be the Rival 9 or the Swarm. It's one of the two. And I would be willing to bet 9 times out of 10 people are going to be using the Rival 9 just because of how consistently good that weapon is. What is this guy doing all the way back in the spawn? What the freak? Now the next weapon I would say is going to be the MCW. That gun is actually like a beam. Like the recoil is bare to none. Its damage is really good. Like overall, that weapon, I really enjoyed using the MCW. I think I actually got my highest kill streak on this game with the MCW. I got a 25 kill streak. It was just really consistent. I was able to take fights from far ranges and not have to worry about whether the range was going to be a factor or not. So I enjoyed that one a lot. Next weapon is going to be the Holger 556. Now this one is technically banned from CDL and competitive COD this year, I believe. And I understand why. I mean, I'm not really too heavy into the competitive scene of COD and everything like that, but I mean, the gun is just, the Holger is nice, man. Like if you're gonna go for a weapon to get kills and to get trades and double kills and triple kills, the Holger is probably your best bet, just because like with the right attachments, the thing is just, it's a beam, dude, literally. See if I can get this guy. Oh, I tried to assassinate him. It didn't even let me. But yeah, the Holger is a really good weapon. I think everyone who plays Modern Warfare 3 knows what I'm talking about. It's just, that thing is just, it's overpowered, man. Now the last one on the list, and I saved this one for the last one just because I literally had somebody comment on my last video regarding this because I was using it in the video. But that's going to be the DG58. The DG58 is hands down the most powerful gun for me, in my own opinion. Every single person is a one burst, left trigger, right trigger, instant dead. You get a headshot, instant dead. Like it's just, it's actually unfair. But I would definitely put the DG58 is right up there with the Holger. Like those two guns definitely dominate this game 100%. But yeah, with that being said, that's gonna go and wrap up my tier list. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you feel like a gun should have been higher or lower? And I did actually not put in certain weapons that I haven't used yet, including the LMGs, the shotguns, secondaries, and such. This tier list has only been off of the weapons that I've currently leveled up and used. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next one very soon.